Josh, can you hear me? 1 second. I need to turn my volume up. Try again. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Playoff hoops from Ben Lane Gymnasium as the Ithaca Bombers women's basketball squad host the Tigers of Rochester Institute of Technology in round one of the Liberty League tournament. I'm Eli Fishman alongside Devin Jarvis on the Bombers Radio Network as your eyes and ears. Devin, this is what it all comes down to. It's win or go home. It's playoff basketball. And this is familiar territory for Ithaca, who has 3 Liberty League championships in the past 4 seasons and have made the NCAA tournament in the past 4 as well. But what's not familiar with this team and with Dan Raymond's squad is playing on a Tuesday, because this is the first time since 2016 that they are the 1 or the 2 seed. You got to play on Tuesday, win round 1, an extra game. It comes against RIT, a team that doesn't have the best record, but they have played teams close all season long.
Yes, they have. And Ithaca usually gets the luxury of that bye. You say they've won the Liberty League in 3 out of the past 4 years. They are always making the finals. So this is going to be a different switch up for them. Not something that's typical in the Dan Raymond area, at least for the past half decade. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Bombers out here handle it. And generally, they're coming into this one as the favorites, but at the same time, definitely a tough opponent, and like you said, RIT has played some teams close and will make it difficult for the Bombers.
And this is an RIT team that you mentioned they play teams close. 5 of their last 8 games have been by 5 points or less, either a win or a loss. And a Tigers team that enters today at 9-16 overall, 8-10 in conference play. But as we talked about, they have played some teams close. You look at Union, a 5-point game just this past Friday. They played Ithaca close a couple of times. They played each other with the offense on full display. And a big piece of that is Emma Waite, the senior at 4'11". She had 40 points, a double-double, at 13 rebounds to that on Saturday against Bard, and she's one of those names to watch.
Definitely. She's a player that can do it all for this RIT Tigers squad. Leads the team in rebounds, assists per game, steals per game, and points. She's been kind of the main force out there, especially when you consider they lose Hannah Durand earlier in the season, who was leading the team in points at the time. She only played about 7 games and was a huge blow to this team because she was a transfer from a community college and came in as a star and added that firepower to a Tigers team that, of course, we haven't seen get that much production this year.
National anthem coming up. Keep it right here on the Bombers Radio Network as tip-off coming momentarily.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, one more.
From Ben Light Gymnasium, it's time for round one of the Liberty League tournament. Win or go home between the Ithaca Bombers and the Tigers of RIT. RIT and Ithaca starters being announced at the moment. RIT on the right side of the court in the all-black uniforms with Tigers in white lettering across the chest with a orange outline, and the Tigers in writing across the bottom of the pants with orange piping on the bottoms. For the Bombers in the all-white home uniforms with navy blue lettering and numbering, Ithaca across the chest with blue piping on the bottoms and the shoulders of the uniforms. The Bombers coming into this one at 20-5, RIT at 9-16. The starters for the visiting Tigers, it's Emma Waite, Erin DePaula, Ainsley Oral, Caitlin Bockelman, and Sonia Shivik. And on the Ithaca side, starters being announced is Jillian Payne, Junie Dixon, Hannah Polche, Cameron Coffey, and Anya Watkins. Devin, the starting lineup for virtually the entire second half of the season, where Ithaca had a little bit of struggles, especially with the top two teams in the league in Skidmore and Vassar.
Yes, they did, and they're kind of switching it up over these past couple days. A name you usually see in that starting five is Annabella Yorio. She hasn't made the start for the past 2 games, which is unique to the rest of her season. She made every single start before that, and she comes back from the Super Bowl with the sports management program. Doesn't start last week, and the Bombers go 1-1. Anya Watkins has taken that spot as the big, you could say, for this team, pulling in the most rebounds of anybody on the roster.
And Jillian Payne starting for the last 5. She returns to the floor for the Bombers. Yorio, and what a presence she's been. But you mentioned she missed 3 games as she was away with the sports management program here at Ithaca, part of that late February run where one of the games they played was RIT on that Tuesday, and not in the starting lineup. Ithaca on the left side of the court, RIT on the right. Tip-off. Watkins goes against Bockelman, and it's going to be batted backwards towards Hannah Polche. She's across midcourt. Now goes to the right corner looking for Cameron Coffey. Big force, especially from deep. Back to the top of the key. Now to the left corner. Polche, hands over her head, swirls back towards the top. Aaron Pass was looking for Watkins. Instead, it's Dixon back at the wing. Now Watkins, now looking down low. Dixon spins from the right elbow, puts up a jumper, no good off the iron. Payne gets the rebound, resets. Back to the top, and Polche playing point guard, directing traffic. Fresh 20 on the shot clock. Goes Watkins, now Polche left corner. She drives baseline, one to beat, hesitates, looks down low to her left to Watkins, ball on the ground. Errant pass, gets knocked back to the top. Coffey for 3, and connects. 3-pointer for Cameron Coffey, splash for the momentum.
Like you just said, she is a threat from deep and shows it there.
On the left side of the court now, from the perimeter, just inside on the corner, Emma Waite, 4'11", easy money, 5 seconds into RIT's possession, down by 1.
I mean, it is incredible the work she's able to do at the height she is, doing it all for this RIT roster.
Ithaca setting it up on the offensive side. Pass goes to Polche in the corner, back to the top of the key in Payne, and now to the left wing. Dixon, cross-court pass all the way in front of the RIT bench to Coffey. Driving baseline, 1 to beat, covered by DePaulo. Spins, less than 10 on the shot clock, throws it up, rattles around the rim, and swirls right down the drain. 5-2 Bombers on top. Minute 30 into this one. Emma Waite with it on the right wing, looking down low. Pat to the cup. Throws it up with the hook shot, right hand, and good. Fast break opportunity for Ithaca, though, and Cameron Coffey. She's got all 7 points for the Bombers. She got a half-court heave down low, got the points. Wait, though, right back looking for 3. This is as fast as it gets to start a game. We're tied 7-7, minute and 45 seconds in. Ithaca will slow it down on the offensive side with Coffey. Goes to the top of the key. Watkins looking down low for Dixon. Throws it up with the right hand on the layup. Off the glass, she'll get her own rebound. Now Watkins wide open down low after Dixon was kind of directed back towards the corner. Watkins, though, she was wide open. 9-7 lead for the Bombers. On the offensive side, DePaula and RIT, right to left. Handoff Waite, drives down low, one-on-one with Polche. A size mismatch there as it goes back to the top. Wide open triple from the left wing, and it's good. Ainsley Oral, the sophomore, who's had a big piece of this team as an underclassman. Big triple, RIT on top, 10-9. But Anya Watkins from the top of the key was directing traffic. Gives the handoff to Dixon down low, wide open for 2. Ithaca on top by 1. 7:15 left to go in the first quarter. RIT swindles it around the horn. Right wing to Paulo. Back to the corner. On the right side, Waite. One-on-one with Payne. Sends it back to the right arc is Shivik. who loses possession of the basketball, bounces out of her hand into the crowd. Ithaca will take over. That's the first possession that no points were scored.
Yeah, and it's great to have a second to breathe, Eli. Those first 14 points combined were scored by only 2 players. Got to see some other people get some action. But look at Waite so far, taking advantage of her mismatch, if you could, splitting the defense, and able to find a lot of production this early into the game.
Ithaca on top by 21 total points in the first 3 minutes of this game. Dixon with the top of the key on the right side of the court. Sends it to the right corner. Coffey back to the top of the key, stepping towards the right elbow, letting it fire is Watkins. Rattles around and out. RIT gets the rebound. Quick in transition. Wade at the top of the key to slow it down. One-on-one with Dixon. Drives, throws it up with the right hand off the glass, off the front of the rim. No good, and into the hands of Anya Watkins at 5'10". Now Dixon, quick coast to coast. Sends it back. Left wing triple. Polche rattles off. And into the hands of DePaulo, slowing it down now. RIT moving right to left.
Very fast possessions to kick things off. No more than about 10 seconds wasted on the shot clock.
We're now through a minute scoreless after there were 21 total points in the first 3 minutes of this game. Looking for the triple from the right corner. Getting it. Caitlin Bockelman. 13-11 RIT on top. Ithaca quick to the other side of the court. On the right side, hands over her head in the low block. Dixon sends it to the top of the key in Payne. Lets it fly from 3. Rattles off the front iron. Polche gets the rebound. Swirls it up with the left hand and no good. Rattling off the back of the rim, and RIT quick down low. Left corner. Bockelman steps inside the perimeter. Drives baseline. Sends it to the right wing. Wide open. Oral triples try is no good. Ithaca on the rebound.
And this is exactly what RIT has been wanting to do. Pushing the pace is what they've done so far. That's what Coach Amy Reed told us.
Quick takeaway from RIT. Contact down low. Driving Oral from the right side. Off the glass, no good. Into the hands of Payne after Polche was the culprit of the stop on defense. She's been stellar these last few weeks on the defensive side. As Dixon, the D1 transfer, now in the right corner, sends it to the top of the key. Watkins. Left wing triple coming. Coffey. Rattles off, no good. Rebound picked up by RIT. Fast game early on. Emma Waite gets a half-court pass. Right wing. Throws it up left hand as she was in the low block. Rebounded by RIT. Now slowing it down. DePaula setting the table. Goes to the right corner. Waite drifts back towards the wing. Extended. Now right corner triple. Oral. Oh, man. Red hot 16-11 lead for RIT, who didn't lead a single minute in their 2 games against Ithaca during the regular season. Ithaca right side of the court now in the all-white home uniforms. Polche right corner. Sends it to Dixon at the top of the key. Now Coffey. Left corner triple try, no good. Who's going to get the rebound? Dixon fighting for it, able to tiptoe and bounce. Back to the top of the key in Coffey. She drives down the lane. No good, but it's going to be tipped up on the rebound by Maya Richardson on the RIT side, who's just checked in, accidentally tapping it into her own goal.
I mean, they're scoring from both sides, you could say. Very hot from the offensive and defensive.
Here's a triple try. Left corner to Paula. Oh, baby. 19-13 lead for RIT. Tigers letting it fly. Just under 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
87% from beyond the arc.
Payne is denied down low. She got the feed from Dixon. As we're going to see the first substitutions coming in for Ithaca. It'll be Iqbal Seda, Trevna, and Yorio coming on for Watkins.
And that'll be a media timeout.
And Polche, and it appeared Coffey, but the timeout is going to be called by Ithaca. And Dan Raymond, 3:47 left to go in the first quarter, 19-13. And what an offensive display this has been.
I mean, you couldn't ask for much more if you are the RIT Tigers right now. Coach Amy Reed told us just yesterday she wants to push the ball and score in transition. That's exactly what they've done so far. Electric from deep, 5 for 6 on those attempts, 83%, and even field goal attempts, 64% on those marks. The Bomber side of things not as efficient, have taken a step back than they were in the first 2 minutes, you could say. 20% from beyond the arc, and June Dixon not quite finding a rhythm yet. It's been a theme we've seen all season long. She can get hot, but when she's cold, she is cold. And right now, sitting at, I believe, just 0 for 2 from the field, 1 for 3 rather. She is taking a little bit to get started.
She's got less than 5 points in 3 of her last 4 games, and Dixon had almost 15 points per game about halfway into the season. Grad transfer coming from a Division I program in Cal Poly, where she was a big piece off of the bench for a team that played some of the best programs in the nation, even the #1 team 2 years ago in South Carolina, comes to the South Hill for her grad year, off to a blazing hot start as one of the best players in the conference. A couple weeks in, we were talking about Player of the Year competition for Dixon, but she's had her fair share of struggles the last couple of weeks, and as Coach RIT talked about, preventing Dixon from getting to the cup has been a big piece. Cam Coffey right now with 7 points. 1 for 3 from deep. Ithaca to inbound it. It's Iqbal Seta. On the right side of the court, she goes to Yorio at the top of the key. Directing traffic. Stutter steps towards the foul stripe. Steps right from the foul stripe and lets it fly. 4-point game. 19-15 out of the timeout. 3:35 left to go in half number 1. Waite behind the back. Oral back to Waite. Left corner looking down low to Paulo. She spins. One-on-one with Yorio. Nothing working. Back to Waite. Loses possession of the basketball. Tori Drevna will take over. Pass goes to Dixon. Left wing. All the way across court. Coffey. Right wing. Triple try. No good. Fight for the rebound down low. Who's going to get it? Tigers direction. And they are quick in transition. Waite. Coast to coast. Stutter steps from the right elbow. Looks down low for Bockelman. And the travel called on Bockelman as she had just Dixon to beat to make it to the cup.
To talk about 2 possessions where RIT hasn't scored is an anomaly for what we've seen so far this game, but you got the other guys checked in for the Bombers. 3 new faces out there on the hardwood.
Iqbal Seta, the 5'4" point guard, calling out plays at the top of the key. Hands it to Yorio, driving down low. Right side, steps back towards the elbow, now drives. Throws it up with the hook towards the baseline. Underneath the net on the right side, off the glass and in for Yorio. 2-point game. 19-17, just under 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Pass down low goes to Bockelman, quick in transition, spinning, throws it off the glass, no good, into the hands of Drevna. Now she's quick across the logo. Dixon looks down low, wide open Yorio, and we're tied.
How about 6 points back-to-back possessions for Annabella Yorio? The impact she makes on this game is immediate in her first just 2 minutes.
Coming off the bench, didn't get the start for only the 4th time this year as Dixon with the takeaway. Oral is dribbling in the left wing, coast to coast, no good as she has had an opportunity on the fast break. Waite was right beneath her and Waite fouls. Dixon no good on the layup towards the net, which was virtually wide open.
Yeah, she had to hit that shot, and you gotta say she's good enough to hit those. Sometimes it's just a mental blockade that she could be facing. Only one 10-point game, which was her last game in the last 4 attempts. So she's looking to add to her total right now, but a very slow start, which is not something uncommon we've seen in her last month or so of games.
Sometimes when you need to get the ball rolling, need to get hot, trip to the foul stripe does you good. She goes 2 for 2 from the line, as we'll see Elizabeth Maka checking in for the Bombers. She's been a big piece of this team late in games. Off the bench, Polche comes in as well.
31, Ella Wilson.
Right to left, RIT taking it out as Ella Wilson checks into the game. Lila McHugan as well, sending it to the right corner as McHugan now to Paulo. One-on-one Yorio. Swindles it back towards the top of the key and around the perimeter now. Goes to Wade at the top of the key. Guarded by Maka. Drives left side. Down the lane. Throws it up with the left hand off the glass. Off the rim. Swirls in. Right through. Less than 2 minutes left to go. We're all tied again. 21-21. Maka right corner. Hands overhead. Dribbles back towards the wing. Now to Yorio, top of the key. Directing traffic. Iqbal Seta left wing. Travel. Rebel will call an offensive foul,
It looks like
Ithaca.
Yeah, it looked like a moving screen on Yorio. Tried to get away and make some space for Iqbal Seta. Gets called on that one, and all tied up here. 1:30 to go in the first.
21-21. RIT on the offensive side. Kick out triple to the left corner. Broom rattles around and in.
The 3-point is good for Lila Gigan.
3-point lead for RIT. Ithaca slowing it down in transition. 1:15 left to go in the first quarter. Yorio top of the key, goes Polche left corner. She drives back towards the arc. At the top, Drevna looks to pass to Iqbal Seta in the right corner. Passes Aaron over her head out of bounds. It's going Tigers direction. 61 seconds left in the first quarter.
Bombers struggling on offense if the ball is not in the hands of Yorio or Coffey. With Coffey off the court, you got to hope for her.
DePaulo dribbling on the left wing. Sends it behind her back to McHugan. Back to the left corner. DePaulo, she drives one-on-one. Throws it up with the right hand off the glass. No good. Fight down low for the rebound. Yorio tried to rip it out of the hands of Kaplinski, and it's going to be a foul. against Yorio, who's fouled out of a couple games this season. That's been a struggle for her as Watkins checks back in for Yorio, the two bigs on this Ithaca squad, as RIT will send it in from the left side underneath the cup. McHugin goes the long way all the way to the top of the key and wait. Now to the left wing to Wilson. Back to the top of the key and wait. Towards the Bomber logo, calling out traffic. Hands over her head, dribbles back towards the right wing, covered by Iqbal Seta. Looking down low for McHugin, who tips it in bounds. Pass was over her head, but it's right into the lap of Hannah Polche and the Bombers. Quick in transition, left to right, looking for Drevna. Left wing triple try off the iron. Rebound Watkins. Iqbal Seta now, shot clock off. 15 seconds left to go. Drevna looks down low. Maka wide open. Off the glass and in. Maka on the board. 1 point game, RIT on top, 24-23. And they've got the ball. 5 seconds left. Straight away, three try. Wait, no good. Iqbal Seta rebound. 1.5 seconds. Will heave one looking for Maka down low. No one home. Doesn't matter. Buzzer sounds. Quarter number one comes to a close. 24-23. RIT on top. Playoff basketball from Ben Light Gymnasium, and oh my, RIT on top, 24-23 at the end of the first half on the Bombers Radio Network. Eli Fishman and Devin Jarvis. That was the fastest pace of basketball I've seen all season, and as we talked about early on, these two teams played twice in the regular season. RIT didn't lead for a single second. They've led for about 75% of this one. Yeah, they've looked electric on the offensive side so far. Right now, their defensive concerns are coming from under the basket. They've had a couple possessions where Annabella Yorio and, Elizabeth Maka as well have been able to get open looks with nobody in their way. So getting distracted on defense might be their main concern right now. Focus on every person on the court, and don't forget below the basket. There were 21 points in the first 3 minutes of this game. Slowed down a little bit, but both teams right around 50% on the day. Quarter number two starts with Polche inbounding it to Iqbal Seta. Bombers getting it going on the right side of the court. Polche slings it to the top of the key. Yorio looking down low for Watkins. Pass is right to the lap of Anya Broom at RIT. Moving right to left, slowing it down to Paulo. Back to the top of the key, wait. Right wing now, left wide open was McHugin. She'll hand it back to DePaulo. From the right wing, drives down low, kicks it out to the triple. No good for McHugin from the left corner. And Yorio will take the rebound in transition. Coast to coast, one to beat. Off the glass, no good. Contact as Yorio falls to the ground. And RIT will look to play to the advantage. Down low, two Bombers to one Tiger. Kaplinski goes up with two hands. And no good off the rim. Rebound. Attempted rebound, at least, is going to go out of bounds. RIT will retain possession. Picking up right where we left off. Fast possessions. Only one timeout in this game. It was a media timeout. Inbounded pass from McHugin goes the long way to Wait. Deep in the right wing. Looking to the left. Low block now. Wilson, who dribbles, drives, and that's Watkins, snags it right out of her hands. Yorio, though, gets the cross-court pass. Wide open just inside the perimeter. On the right baseline, gets the points. And this is the matchup they're going to need. If they have Watkins and Yorio in this game, the size is going to be too much for RIT. 25-24, Ithaca on top now. Long pass to Kaplinski, retains it down low. Driving against Watkins, and it's going to be off the hands of Hannah Polche and out of bounds. It'll stay RIT basketball. Just over a minute, 15 seconds into the second quarter, and this game continuing with its fast pace. It does not seem to be stopping anytime soon, Eli. This is just incredible. Wait, right wing on the inbound. Sends it behind her back. Wilson for the triple try. Right wing, no good. Rattles out. Coffee at 5'11", gets the rebound. Goes Iqbal Seta. Right wing, looking down low. Watkins with the driving layup. It's no good, but she's fouled. Want to talk about this more because the duo right now of Watkins and Yorio is just punishing to this squad of
RIT Tiger players who just can't handle the size. You go to the line, force fouls, or just make it difficult to make plays. I think this is the lineup that Coach Raymond is seeing right now has success with already good success from Yorio and Watkins. Watch out for that during the rest of this game, as those two are already responsible for about half the points the Bombers have, and adding that total right now in the charity stripe.
Watkins first from the charity stripe is good, as Sydney Pearson and Caitlin Bonkelman checking in for the Tigers. Second for Watkins, rattles off the back iron, no good, and into the hands of RIT and Bonkelman. Tigers taking it right to left, dribbling at the top of the key. Bonkelman now goes down low to the left with McHugin. Foul called on the offensive side.
Illegal screen once again. That's the second one we've seen this game, and not something you see usually called. So maybe the refs are looking for a break themselves if they've been running across the court back and forth pretty often so far.
Dixon checking back in for the Bombers, who are on top by 2. Dixon finds herself with the basketball, right corner, triple, looking to get hot, and she can. Big three-pointer. Puts Ithaca on top by 5, 29-24. Timeout called by Amy Reed.
Yeah, good timeout there. 9 unanswered points by the Bombers. And to top it off, Junie Dixon, who's a player that you don't want to see get hot, and when she does, can start to be very punishing for the other team.
And Dixon kind of got it going from the free throw stripe, but she's now got 7 points on the day. And the exact player you need to get those kind of buckets, especially from deep down the stretch, for an Ithaca team that leads the conference with a 31.1 percentage from beyond the arc. And that's a huge number, because Ithaca, you got to get your threes to win this kind of game.
100%. And listen, a sundae is good. Got the ice cream bananas and everything. But when you add that Junie Dixon cherry on top, it just makes the Bombers that much better. And if they're going to want to make a push toward the Liberty League title this year, they're going to need performances from her. But right now, I like the matchup that the Bombers have out on the court. Has shown some trouble for the Tigers. And if they keep this up, it's going to be a tough game. You're on pace for almost 100 points on both sides at the end of the first quarter. A little bit slower to start out this second quarter.
Not necessarily expected to for an RIT team that went 9-16 in the regular season and that averaged 59 points per game against an Ithaca team averaging closer to 70. But, I mean, this is anyone's playoff. I mean, William Smith beat Vassar in the second to last game of the season, and a Vassar team that has only lost to the team at the top of the SUNYAC Conference right now in New Paltz, and the top team in the region. Yeah,
it's been some different stuff going on toward the regular season, but Eli, all that matters is what happens in the playoffs, and any team can get that win.
Out of the timeout, Tigers moving right to left, setting up the Paul atop the key. Looks down low on the pass to Pearson. It's snagged away by Polche. Down the far sideline, quick in transition. Setting up in the corner. Now drives baseline, kicks it out. Right corner to Coffey. She swindles back towards the top of the key. Looks for Dixon. Wide open triple, but she bobbles the basketball. Can't get it off. Steps in a few feet to the perimeter. Fires, no good. Strong and an air ball. It's going to go right into RIT direction. 7:30 left to go in the second quarter. Behind the back, Oral, top of the key, calling out plays. Looks to the left wing, Bonkelman. She swirls, now looks down low. Baseline, stutter steps, nothing working there. Tips it back towards the top of the key. 3-ball to Paulo, rattles out. It's going to go Ithaca ball off the rebound. 2 opportunities, 2 golden opportunities for both sides. Can't come away with any points.
Yeah, and go back to that Junie Dixon left wing 3 attempt. Had it in her hands, had some space from the defender. Just couldn't really hold on to it, and on the transition back, wiped off her hands. Hopefully, she'll have more control over the ball just now.
Bombers on top by 5, moving left to right. Iqbal Seta sends it to the top of the key in Coffey. She drives down the lane towards the left side, spins, throws it up with the right hand off the glass, and no good. Great defense by Sydney Pearson right on top of her. Quick in transition, RIT. Looking down low, Oral from the right baseline, just underneath the cup, throws it up, left hand, and in. 3-point game, 29-26. Just under 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Drevna in the right corner, setting it up on offense for the Bombers. Goes to Dixon, top of the key. Now to Watkins, right about the foul stripe. Now she drives, left side, down Broadway, and with the left hand on the hook, it's in. 31-26 lead for the Bombers. RIT at the top of the key to Paulo. Kicks it out to the right wing, Oral. She'll now drive with Dixon one-on-one. Throws it up right hand off the glass and in. The offense, that engine, won't stop. Ithaca ball set atop the key, around the perimeter. Looking to play to that strong offense. Looking down low, Coffee. Nothing working there. Sends it back to the top of the key, stepping inside the perimeter, firing. Watkins, no good. Off the iron, right into the hands of RIT, who's dominated the rebound battle. McHugan at the top of the key, setting something up. Looked for the pass to Oral, but it's snagged away by Junie Dixon. Second steal of the game. Goes coast to coast. Can't get the first. It's off the glass and no good on the fast break. But Drevna on cleanup duty, right behind. Snags the ball off the ground. Goes in. 33-28 lead for Ithaca. 5:45 left to go. It's RIT's turn, though. Straightaway triple. McHugan, no good. Off the iron, right into the hands of Oral. She takes a step back. Left wing triple try. No good. Foul down low on RIT on the attempted rebound. It's going Bombers' direction.
Started the game 80% from beyond the arc, and right now they're 1 for their last 7 attempts. The RIT Tigers, that is a complete flip in the script from what we saw to kick things off, and they've only got about 2 buckets to get their second quarter started. The Bombers really just controlling things right now.
Polche and Payne checking in for the Bombers, moving left to right. 5:30 left to go in quarter number 2. 33-28 Bombers on top as Watkins top the key. Looks for Yorio down low. She's fouled as she was driving towards the glass. Threw up a shot with the hook. It was way off almost the bottom of the backboard, but foul regardless. She'll go to the line for 2.
We talk about players who maybe just bake the foul for the sacrifice the shot, and this is what Yorio did just now. Gets an opportunity on the free throw stripe, building that lead for the Bombers, and a new control of this game as she looks to reach double digits as she does now.
First is good, second, money as well, as Kaplinski will check into the game. 35-28, Bombers on top, 5:20 left to go before the halftime break. Taking it out to Paula from the right side for RIT in the all-black unis. Top the key, directing traffic. Calling out plays, calls for Waite in the right corner. Gets Waite, covered by Payne. Nothing working there, back to the top of the key. DePaulo, back to Waite, back and forth they go. Waite in the corner, swirls it all the way back towards the top of the key. DePaulo, now triple try, right corner. Waite, front iron, Polche on the rebound.
Waite is isolated in that right corner, and the Bombers are able to double team her. They're going to have to figure out a new set of offense if they want to keep her isolated.
Working around the perimeter, Ithaca. Yorio hands over her head. Calls for Watkins down low. Goes to the right wing in Polche, who drifts back towards the top of the key. She'll let it fly from deep. Off the back iron, no good. Foul down low. Who's it going to be on? Looks like it's on Yorio with the contact. You got Yorio, tallest player on this Bombers team, 6 foot, going up against Emma Waite, 4'11". Whole lot of contact, and it's going to be on Yorio, her 3rd foul.
And it looks like it's going to stay with the Bombers. They're going to get away with that. I thought it was Yorio too, and over the back on the rebound, but luckily for them, they don't get in that trouble. Still Yorio in foul trouble though right now. 2 is not what you want just 15 minutes into the game, and if those totals start to build, you're looking at real trouble for the Bombers as their production has been funneled through Annabella Yorio, who's in double digits, only one of 2 players alongside Orel in this game to have that total.
First from the line is good for Yorio. You don't expect a blocking foul against 4'11", against 6 foot. But Yorio's first is good, second money as well. 9-point lead for Ithaca, 37-28, 4:35 left to go in the second quarter. RIT, right to left. DePaulo calling out plays, top of the key. Goes to Waite in the right corner. Back to the top. DePaulo, Waite, right corner, dribbles, sends it just inside the perimeter down low to Kaplinski. The takeaway. It's Polche down the near sideline. Quick to the cup, coast to coast. Swindles back towards Drevna. Right corner triple, short. Payne down low for the rebound, gets it, throws up the second chance points, no. Third chance though, that's Anya Watkins. Gets the board, gets the points. Double-digit lead for Ithaca. Waite, now to the right corner. Oral, Waite to the top. Now right corner to Paulo. Playing that passing offense that we've seen. DePaulo throws up a shot, it's no good. Strong, Yorio bats it out of bounds. Underneath the cup, Drevna will check out for Coffee. It'll stay Tigers basketball.
Bombers controlling the rebounding front right now, up 21-5, and most of those are from the offensive rebounds they've been getting under the basket. They just can't control it.
Oral hands overhead, violation on the 5 seconds. Right back Bombers ball.
Things just aren't going the Tigers' way right now. 4 points, no scores in the last 3 minutes. They need to pick something up here because if they want to stay in this game, it's not going to work like this.
An 8-0 run for Ithaca, who leads 39-28 with 3:45 left to go in the second quarter. Pass from the top of the key to Coffee, goes down low to Watkins. Quick catch and release. She throws it up off the glass and no good. Reach in foul on the rebound going against Watkins, so it's going to go RIT direction. Tigers moving right to left. DePaulo slows it down now with the right hand dribbling across the logo. Hands it off to Waite, circling back towards the top of the key. One-on-one with Coffee. Big-time size mismatch there, as we've mentioned. Oral, top of the key, looks to Paulo, left corner, back to Waite, left arc. She drives, steps inside the perimeter, looks down low. Richardson drives, now kicks out, right corner, triple try. Bockelman, you bet.
That three-pointer's good.
Big three-pointer. 31-39 the score, 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
We'll put them over 50% from beyond the arc now, comparative to what they started, not as good.
6 for 12 from deep for RIT is Yorio setting up the offense at the top of the key. She goes Polche left wing. Now Polche directs traffic, asks for Yorio to come back towards the top of the key, passes it to her. Now her hands over her head, driving down low. 2 Tigers in front of her, throws it off the glass on the driving layup attempt, no good. And another foul against Yorio, it appears, on the reach-in, trying for the layup. It's going to go Tigers ball.
Yeah, that is crucial. Not something is necessary, too. You lose the rebound, get a little frustrated, you miss a shot, and try and go for the reach-in. Now that's 3 fouls and something that can completely change the game. Coming off a 3, RIT has a chance to respond big.
39-31. Bombers still on top, 2:30 left to go before the half. Waite top of the key. Guarded by Payne. Sends it to the left corner to Paula. Dribbles back towards the left arc. Hands it off behind her back to Waite. She's right there at the top. Now drives towards the foul stripe line. Looks down low for DePaulo. Drives. Kick out just inside the perimeter for Waite from the left arc. No good. Rattles out into the hands of Payne and the Bombers. Left to right. Pass goes to Dixon. She's freshly checked into this game. Top of the key, drives left side, down low, rims in.
It seems like she's easier on the layups when there's people in her way compared to if it's a fast break.
10-point lead for Ithaca. Just under 2 minutes left. Waite, right corner, down low, looks for Bockelman. One-on-one with Coffee, drives, throws it off the glass, and good. Teardrop from the right side for Bockelman. And RIT, the Tigers, not going away anytime soon. Polche, top of the key for Ithaca, looks for Coffee with the handoff, but instead the handoff goes right to DePaula. And the Tigers sends it to Bockelman. Right arc, just inside the perimeter, no good from deep. Now to Dixon. She's quick in transition, steps inside the perimeter, left elbow try with the jumper, that's no good. Now these offenses starting to sputter out just a little bit. RIT will look to slow it down and Waite in the right corner. Not slowing it down anytime soon as she drives down low. Throws it up right hand and the and one. Emma Waite at 4'11". 40 points last time out against Bard, and what a performance early on. She's got 11 points, 5 for 10 from the floor, and doing it all.
What's unique about her size is that she can almost take advantage of the bigger players that are going against her, weave through the defenders, and get acrobatic shots that the bigger players don't just have the agility or flexibility to defend. That's what she does there and forces the foul, putting the bigger players in difficult situations to guard.
Waite can't get the and one. Rebound, Ithaca. Dixon looking for Payne down low. Passes way high and out of bounds underneath the net. Looks like they're going to call a foul down low. Haven't seen who it's on yet, but it looks like it's going to stay Ithaca ball. It's going to go on RIT, and Payne will head to the line.
Yeah, something we haven't mentioned, but the bonus came into play really, really early for the Bombers, so they get some shots at the line. 6 fouls already in this one. You saw it on the last foul, too, when Annabella Iorio got fouled with the blocking one on Waite. But something you're going to want to pay attention to in the second half if RIT is struggling against the size matchup.
Payne can't get the first. Second from the charity stripe will go. Avery McPeak checking in for Ithaca, as well as Ichabal Seta.
And no fouls for the Bombers other than Annabella Iorio. Something to pay attention to with her out of the game. They're playing very disciplined defense.
Less than 60 seconds left to go. Quarter number 2 from Ben Light Gymnasium in the first round of the Liberty League playoffs. Oral, top of the key, sends it to the right arc at the top. Bockelman, she drives down low, covered by Coffey. Nothing working there. Looks for the pass to the right corner, McCugan, but it's batted out of bounds by Dixon. 12 on the shot clock for RIT to reset. (42-35), 44.1 seconds left to go. Inbound from Oral, goes right wing. Bockelman back towards the top of the key. Now goes McCugan. Around the perimeter they go. Now to Paula. Down low. Left corner. Drives. Now throws it up with the hook shot. Just underneath the cup and good. 37-42. RIT still trailing. Shot clock less than a second in front of the game clock. Ichabod will slow it down at the logo. The sophomore who's dealt with injuries all season long, but has been a ball of electricity when she's on the court. Calls for Dixon, 10 on the clock now. Ichabod, she'll just drive, take it herself. Off the front iron on the layup. McPeak will get the rebound. She'll throw it off the glass. Avery McPeak on the board as the buzzer sounds long. One from the parking lot for DePaulo, and that's going to be the end of the first half. 44-37, Ithaca on top.
Bombers finding the rhythm late in that first half. They got it in the second quarter, especially when they brought the size out. A matchup RIT wasn't able to handle. They showed some life toward the end, but wasn't able to keep it consistent, something they're going to have to talk about in the locker room in just about 15 minutes.
And this was such a well-fought first half. We're going to throw it to the studio because there is a lot to break down. Keep it right here on the Bombers Radio Network halftime show. And then, of course, half number 2 from Ben Light Gymnasium coming up.
Fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The Ithaca Bombers lead the RIT Tigers 44-37 at the end of 2 quarters. Welcome to the halftime show here on 91.7 WISB Ithaca. I'm your host, Josh Hobbs, joined alongside are my analysts, Farrell Hudson and Alec Brown. Guys, oh my goodness, I thought Eli's tongue was going to come out of his mouth in those first 5 minutes in the first quarter because that was some of the most high-intense basketball. And I mean, it's classic playoff basketball. It was absolutely phenomenal to watch there just on the stream there. But let's just talk about this game. You know, it's got 44-37, got to a hot start. We talked about in the pregame show, you know, not trying to let the RIT Tigers, get into a shootout in this game. That's exactly what kind of happened in that first half, Farrell.
Yeah, exactly what you mentioned there, Josh. I think exactly what you said during the pregame of RIT was going to recognize some of Ithaca's defensive schemes and zone switches, and they really played that to their advantage in the first quarter. They had 24 points, but then you look at that second quarter, and Ithaca was able to get on their game. They held RIT to a slim 13, also caused 6 Tiger turnovers. So overall, drastic improvement from the first to the second quarter, and that's what it's all about, consistency. They don't ask how, they just ask how many, and Ithaca halfway to a victory right now. Very, very good first half overall.
Exactly, and also what we were talking about in the pregame show as well is who was going to be some of that, or who's going to be that X factor coming to the game. You know, with so many new faces, you know, on this team. And my goodness, Annabelle Uriel coming off the bench, giving them 12 points. I mean, what an impact she had in that first half, Alec.
Well, yeah, she hasn't really been a starter for these games for the Bombers, and all of a sudden she comes out guns blazing. She finds herself wide open for a bunch of layups, using that right hand, staying very consistent. And she's been an overall great player right now for this Bombers team. You know, this RIT team does lack height, and she's taking well advantage of that, standing at 6 foot tall.
And another thing we were looking at was how was Junie Dixon going to respond? Obviously playing in her first Ithaca playoff game. Not saying she was playing bad, but I think there was a couple moments where we kind of saw, you know, a little bit of the nerves getting to her. She obviously had those 2 missed layups in the transition. Are we expecting kind of a bounce-back half in the second half for Junie Dixon, Farrell?
Yeah, no doubt. And if we're talking about a bounce-back half, well, that half was already good enough right there in my book for the Bombers. 7 second in points in that first half and 3 for 8 from the field, and across 14 minutes had 9 points and 3 rebounds. So overall, the Cal Poly transfer graduate student has had a great season and a great first half there, and hopefully it continues more in the second half. But as you aforementioned, Josh, the 2 missed layups kind of hurt, but overall doesn't have too much of an effect on the outcome right now.
I don't think it's going to rely too much on Junie to will this Ithaca team to a victory here. I think it's going to honestly rely on their defense. They did a great job switching up their defense in the second quarter. Switching from man to zone defense really helped slow down the RIT offense that really wanted to push the pace, and we saw that a lot throughout the first quarter when they were just running and running. And they slowed them down a bunch, which is what led them to only scoring 13 points in that second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at also the big drastic changes. They were 6 from 8 from the from 3 in the first quarter. That was RIT. Then in the second quarter, a slim 1 for 6, and they shot 9 for 16 from the field, and then only 6 for 18 there in the second quarter. So great defensive adjustments made by the Bombers, and the Bombers have been doing a great job out rebounding RIT, and to me that's what's been most noticeable so far today. Out rebounded the Tigers 12-7 in that first quarter, and then the second quarter was a little bit closer as defensively on the RIT side they got a little more sound down low. It was only 13-12 in advantage of Ithaca, but for the most part, again, Bombers really taking care of business so far.
I want to look at RIT as well, because we talked about one of the players to watch was Emma Waite, and oh my goodness, to start out that first quarter, I mean, it was bucket after bucket after bucket. I mean, I couldn't even believe what I was watching there. I mean, what should be the game plan for the Bombers as they head into that second half of training to slow down the offensive production from Emma Waite?
Yeah, well, as Devin and Fish mentioned on the broadcast, Emma Waite is only 5'11". I'll be curious to see if
you
the
mean
Bombers...
5'1".
Excuse me, 5'1". So, or 4'11" rather. But I'd like to see the Bombers maybe play a little bit more of a high court pressure or double team, really force Emma Waite, force the Tigers to play off of Emma Waite. And you look at her first half there, outstanding across 16 minutes, shot 50% from the field and 11 points. And she was sinking some deep threes there early on. So clearly the most noticeable player on the court for the Tigers.
You know, I know you, me, and Alec were kind of talking about, like, maybe you tried, some sort of box and one on her, or maybe, obviously Ithaca's got a couple, really, really good defenders that you kind of just, isolate on Emma Waite. What would your strategy in trying to stop someone that's just so, highly offensive, in their production?
Yeah, I think running a box and one or some sort of half-court trap just to stop and slow down this RIT offense should really be the game plan for the Bombers. Right now, they're on pace for the most points they've ever scored against the Bombers this season, which is 74, and that is a detrimental amount to what they're usually seeing at 52. So I think how to stop that is you obviously stop their best player in Emma Waite, you trap her at half court, and you make these other role players do their part. Obviously, you had Orel, who had 10 points off the bench, but is that really a necessity all the time, getting your points from other players? I think RIT will have a hard time getting that same output that they had in that first quarter.
All right. And, as Ithaca, leading 44-37 here at the end of 2 quarters, what is one adjustment that you're looking for the Bombers to make as they go into the second half? Could be offense, could be defense, but what are you guys looking for, adjustments from Dan Raymond as they head into the second half?
Yeah, no doubt for me it has to be the defense. The offense so far, in my book, is firing on all cylinders. You have 4 players with 7 points or more, and you look at those key contributors of Annabella Iorio, Junie Dixon, Cameron Coffey, and Anya Watkins, all upperclassmen. So upperclassmen really pulling their weight for the Bombers. And then just defensively there, you have to look to make a few more adjustments, like Alec just mentioned there. Maybe play a box and one or a trap on Emma Waite. But once you do that, you should continue to find more success. The Bombers slowed down, played a little more of their game, played more in sync and rhythm in that second quarter, and they do more of that here in the second half. They should be in great shape to win this one, as they've dropped 44 points already, on pace for an offensive outburst of 88.
And it even seemed like as the Bombers head into the second quarter that there was a definite effort in trying to slow down the pace of this game. I mean, I'm not even joking. The first 7 minutes of the game was an absolute track meet. Players just flying up and down the court, and shots were going in. But really, as you head in that second quarter, that's when it was starting to pull away as they kind of slowed down the pace of this game, and it kind of threw RIT off their momentum.
Well, yeah, it's just that 2-3 zone that works super well for them all season. When you have great guards at the top like Ichabal, Seta, Polche, and Dixon that are great stealers, every time that they hit a big man at the charity stripe, the ball would go away and they'd get an easy fast break point just every single time. Obviously, Junie Dixon does have to hit those layups that she gets off of her steals, but if she can continue to get those steals, it will lead to 3 points in transition.
Ithaca leading 44-37 as they head into the second half of this Liberty League playoff game. I mean, who's also a player? I mean, obviously we were talking about Junie Dixon. Dixon, Polche, who is another player that you think is getting, maybe needs to step up their game as they head to the second half?
I'm going to go on RIT side, and I am going to go with Aaron DePaula. And I say that because DePaula has been strong all season long, but in the first half, she was only held to 2 from 6 from the field, played across 20 minutes as a starter, and only 5 points while cashing in 2 assists. So that's certainly one of those players where she's up there in offensive categories for the Tigers, and she really hasn't done much to get this going in the first half.
Not really a step up, but just more of a keep doing what you're doing. And I'm going to go with Cameron Coffey. She shot 4 threes in that first half, and she's a great three-point shooter. I don't think she should be demolished or by the fact that she only shot 1 for 4 from 3. I say keep letting them fly. Obviously, you want to attack the basket more because that's what is working for them offensively, but still don't be afraid to let it shoot.
It also seems, we've already seen it so far in this first half, but Ithaca definitely has a size advantage when it comes to just this matchup on the court. It feels like it's almost they should be, trying to utilize Yorio more. Obviously, I know in terms of just, trying to keep her fresh, but in terms of coming off the bench, it feels like the Yorio, size advantage has been definitely key, at least in that first half.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and that's what the Bombers have to continue to utilize. As we saw, as you said, there are a lot of open looks for layups and playing a great game down low, and just have to capitalize a little bit more with that, and if they should, be in a great position to win.
Well, the problem with Oreo is sometimes she goes out there for 2 minutes at a time and gets really tired just because of the fatigue of running back and forth with this RIT team. We saw it in the first quarter. And I think with playing Oreo, if she's out there, you have to put her in that 2-3 zone in the middle just so she can get the most amount of rest as possible. Or even make her go on a wing and play a big lineup with Anya Watkins so she can be in the middle and scramble around that paint.
And we've kind of seen definitely just a mismatch of sometimes it goes with that size. You have both Yorio and Watkins out there at the same time. Other times it feels like they're going a little bit more small ball in terms of that Isabel Seta, Julian Payne lineup. In terms of how Ithaca can kind of close out this game, they've got the 7-point lead now, and obviously I think when they kind of slow down that pace of play, in that second quarter, which lineup do you think is going to be more used in the second half to try and ice out this game?
I think right now you don't play around. This is a playoff game, and you need your starters in the lineup, and the starters have fared well so far in this game. As you look at Yorio, Dixon, Watkins, and Coffey, all the leading points and rebound people. And I might look to Tori Drevna. As I mentioned in the pregame, she had a great game last time out against RIT. Already 3 rebounds for the Bombers so far today, and also 2 assists to go along with that. So defense leading to offense on her end, and freshman doing a great job so far.
I would not be surprised if Ithaca went for a larger lineup, especially if they will be in a 2-3 zone. RIT, they're shooting well from the 3-point line right now, but when you have hands that can get to that ball faster, or even just have your hands up like a Luke Cornett, just have your hands up there and just make the hoop look a little smaller than it is, I think that could be a big detriment to the RIT offense, especially when you try to take it to the paint. Who's right there for you? You have Anna Watkins or Yorio right there to stop that.
Ithaca leading 44-37. I know we made some pregame predictions for this one right here. It looks like, at least from my perspective, that at least some of our predictions are going to be kind of out the window at the end of the third quarter. It feels like I was kind of expecting more of a slower pace. Obviously that playoff basketball. Obviously it's intense, but the possessions just mean more. Obviously you can't have many turnovers. Who do you say is obviously winning the battle of not making too many careless turnovers so far?
So far, I'd say it definitely has to be the Ithaca Bombers. As you look at that first quarter in the turnover game, they caused RIT to turn the ball over 5 times as opposed to Ithaca's 3, and then that second quarter really exploited them that way. And you look at bench points, the Bombers, impressive, 18-3, and then fast break points, 12-2. So the Bombers doing a great job of slowing down RIT, as we mentioned, on defense, and that's led to a lot of fast breaks, and I'll look to see more of that here in the second half.
Well, yeah, Farrell, just what you're saying, they lead the turnover game by 6, and RIT, no offense, no surprise that this happened. Ithaca is a great stealing team, and in that defensive zone that they run in that second quarter, they collapsed, and they collapsed very efficiently and very well. So it led to all their fast break points in that second quarter, and I would not be surprised if we saw the same going into the second half as well.
All right, we're gonna wrap up the halftime show here as we're gonna send it back to Ben Light Gymnasium for the second half of Ithaca and RIT for the chance to go to the Liberty League semifinal game against Skidmore next Friday. For Josh Hobbs, Farrell Hudson, and Alex Brown, we'll catch you guys on the postgame.
Tune in every Thursday night to take a trip back in time and revisit some classic songs from the 80s, the 90s.
Hey, Nicole, you there?
Thousands.
Yeah, I'm here. There's like 2 minutes left, so we can come back whenever. Okay, sounds good.
Distracted driving just isn't worth it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, playing sports bed.
(44-37) your score as the Bombers lead entering the second half in Penn Light Gymnasium on the campus of Ithaca College. I'm Devin Jarvis, joined alongside Eli Fishman for the first round of the Liberty League playoffs, where the Bombers, sitting at the 3 seed, take on the RIT Tigers, who are coming in very hot as they controlled the first quarter of play with some fast brand of basketball. Take it to the second, where the Bombers outscored the Tigers by a score of 21-13 to take the 7-point lead in the second half. Eli, not expecting that from the first half, but like normal, Bombers take control in the second.
I don't think we were at all expecting 21 combined points in the first 3 minutes of this game. These teams came out red hot, especially RIT, a team that we have known all year as a dribble and drive team that dominates in the paint. The only problem right now, they only got 12 points in the paint today. They're 7 for 14 from deep, though, and they've dominated from beyond the arc, which hasn't necessarily been their brand of basketball, but that's what they've been forced to do by the Ithaca defense, and they've dominated that. They've been quick. They've turned the ball over too many times, 11 times, and Ithaca has capitalized off those with 15 points coming off of turnovers. Also, a lot of missed shots by Ithaca, though. They're still at 41%, but for both teams, a lot needs to change.
A fast game of basketball, and to kick off this second half, RIT moving from left to right in their black uniforms with the orange trim. The Bombers guarding on that side, white uniforms, blue trim. And to kick things off, it's DePaula. Swinging around to Waite, top of the key, back to DePaula. Pulche surveys on the defense. Back to DePaula, top of the key. Looking for a pass, keeps it in hand, and goes right wing for Oro, who steps inside. High block, outside to Richardson. Down the baseline, swing outside, and stolen by Junie Dixon. Fast the other way, nobody. Steps inside the paint, a hop step for the jumper. This one no good, rebounded by Watkins and put back in for second chance points. The Bombers draw first blood in the second half.
3 steals for Junie Dixon on the day, 6 in her last 7 games.
Has found much production defensively, struggling on the offensive side. Waite, right wing, fakes the shot, drives down and splits the defenders to put in the easy 2 off the square on the backboard. Pulche leading the way the other way. She'll set the table for the Bombers here with Waite on the defense. Swing it around to Coffey on the left wing. Up top to Watkins. Underneath to Junie Dixon. 12 feet from the basket, and the ball pickpocketed. Fast the other way for Buckelman. Down to the paint with her left hand, and Coffey disrupting that play to force the ball out of bounds. And no points for the Bombers. RIT, as a foul is called. And it looked like Coffey got her hands in the wrong place. So Buckelman will have a chance to add to her current total of 8 points with her first trip to the charity stripe tonight. And the first shot is just off the mark as it swirls the iron out to the left. And the Bombers still command the 7-point lead. Just about a minute and 4 seconds here into the second half.
Buckelman missed a good chunk of the season, but she's been back on the floor since the beginning of January, healthy and firing.
She'll split the pair as she knocks down the second, and once again, Pulche to deliver the action as she crosses midcourt for the Bombers. Waite on the defense, and she'll look left side, but elects to go to the charity stripe for Coffey, who drives down Main Street, lifts it up with her right off the back iron and out, and second chance points with a rebound by Watkins. A pass into the corner for Pulche. Once again, Waite on the defense. 8:30 left in this third quarter. The point guard in Junie Dixon at the top of the key gets the pick from Coffey, steps back. 3-pointer, top, no good. This time the Bombers can't get the rebound. Never mind, they do. Watkins gets the pass, but she loses it, and cookies for Richardson, who gets the steal, and Waite crosses midcourt for the other side. Here's DePaula. finds her way inside the wing, and now gets Waite, who drives down that right side. This one swirls in and out, but Waite finding production from going inside the right block against Polche on the defense. 8 minutes to go here. Bombers up by 6. Back to Payne and Polche on the right wing. Polche surveys the floor, goes underneath for Coffey, off the backboard and in. An easy shot, as the size has been troubling the Tigers so far in this matchup.
She's a 39% three-ball shooter, but she's dominated in the paint today with 10 points.
Bockelman with the points for the Tigers in the first half. Hands it off to DePaula, and a right hook shot as she runs across the floor from left to right, and a foul called against the Bombers. Coffey called for that one, and another trip to the charity stripe for DePaula.
Will go to the line for 2.
Currently second on the team in percentage from free throw line shots, and looking to keep RIT in this one. Offense is struggling in their last attempts. Right now, the Bombers have only hit 1 of their last 10 three-point shots. On the other side, a similar theme. 1 for the last 7 for the Tigers. And DePaula will close the lead to 7 as she works her team's total up to 41. Some work from the Bombers crowd to disrupt the foul shots, but nothing phases her as she'll get them both. And the Bombers up by 6 with 7:30 to go in the third quarter. The pure passer in Ika Balsetta surveys the floor from the left wing. Gets it back, fakes the shot as she'll fall to the ground, keep the dribble. A bounce pass to Watkins on the near side block. Now Junie going far side, right wing for Payne. And swinging it back around the horn for Ika Balsetta on the left wing. Another bounce pass for Watkins. Steps inside from 15 feet. This one reached and fouled on Waite, who that will be her second foul of the night.
RIT foul on number 1.
And an inbound pass under the basket on the near side for the Bombers.
You had Waite, you had DePaula, had Richardson right there down low, and they were dominating Watkins and Coffey on that possession. It was just a reach-in foul that bites you to the back.
And swung outside for Ika Balsetta, who looks for the overhand pass but finds an open Junie Dixon on the left wing. This shot swirls out. Anya Watkins once again for the rebound. A handoff, shovel underneath for Junie Dixon, but a foul on the floor before the shot. And once again, the Bombers ball.
Her second.
Talked about it a little bit in the first half, but we barely saw any fouls from the Bombers. 3 from Dixon, 3 from, Yorio, but aside from that, it was smart, disciplined basketball from Ithaca. They've had their own quick fouls with 2 in the first minute, but now RIT's turn.
Outside as Junie Dixon gets the pass. Ika Balsetta on the near side left wing. Back to Dixon, top of the key. She'll be guarded by McGuckin. And now swing it around. 5 seconds on the shot clock. A spot up shot from the top of the key as Ika Balsetta drains it. An 8-point lead for the Bombers. Pass the other way to Paula. Steps inside. Onto the free throw line. Goes outside for Bockelman, who finds her way underneath. And another foul called against the Bombers. She'll take her second trip to the line in this half.
Number 34, Annabella Iorio.
And stepping onto the hardwood now is Annabella Iorio, who we thought had 3 fouls in the first half, but a halftime correction leaves her with just 2. I'd say it's a very impactful call made there, as Iorio's been a huge threat for the Bombers. 12 points in the first half as Bockelman swirls the iron on the first.
Iorio was only held to 6 points last time against RIT. She's already surpassed that with 12, racking up the boards as well.
And another one for Bockelman, who falls short. The work of the Bombers fans causing trouble at the free throw line for the Tigers. Surveying the floor is Ika Balsetta, right wing for Coffey, and top for Dixon. An underneath shovel to Watkins, who's guarded by 3 and tries to get the ball out, but the too many defenders cause trouble for her, and a turnover against the Bombers.
Tigers, number 32, Sydney Pearson.
Here's Bockelman on the inbound for DePaulo. She'll step up. Just under 5 points per game for her as Waite gets the ball now. Stepping down the right side, a step back on the high post, a handoff to Bockelman. Back for the handoff on Waite as she goes inside the paint. Center up, flings up the shot. This one no good. Watkins corrals for a dominating rebound performance tonight. Coffey, left wing, steps inside. Loses the ball for a moment, but corrals and gets it back as Ichabal and Dixon trade passes. Around for Coffee on the near side wing once again. 5:40 on the clock. Bombers up by 8. And an open pass for Watkins as she goes up with the shot and denied with a Leela McGugan foul. And a highly fouled game so far to start this one. Not much production on either side of things with regular offensive play. A lot of it coming from the charity stripe.
6 fouls between the two sides. About 4.5 minutes into the second half, and RIT, they've continued to prevent Ithaca from getting points down low and dominating in the paint, but it's been a couple fouls that has allowed Ithaca to get points out of possession.
Watkins will notch both and add to her total, currently sitting at a double-double, 13 and 11. She's averaging just about 12 and a half in their last 4 games. That would be most on the team as she did it for the season. A handoff to McGugan as she crosses court, and a triple handoff play finding DePaulo in the end. From the elbow, a pass outside for Pearson. Back to McGugan, drives baseline, looks for a teammate, bounce pass underneath for DePaulo, and the ball swings back outside for Waite. Right wing fire, this one off the mark, back iron, but an offensive rebound and corralled as Bockelman drives baseline. She goes underneath, splitting Yorio, the defender, and a pass outside. Open for McGugan in the three-point corner far side. This one on the ground, and a jump ball called as it was McGugan and Yorio fighting for the rebound. Possession for the Bombers with a 9-point lead. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter on Bomber Radio Network. Ichabal, the point guard for this Bombers offense, coming off the bench. And we'll swing it around to the big in Yorio. Elbow, three-point free throw line extended for Dixon as she finds the pass to Drevna on the high post. Swings back outside for Dixon. Left wing three-point attempt. This one nearly a wedgie in between the backboard and the rim, and fast the other way for DePaula. A stutter step inside, crossing over Coffee. Back outside for Waite on the no-look pass. She's right wing. Dixon on the defense. 4:30 to go. Back to DePaula, open, drives baseline, swing it around. McGugan open in the three-point corner. This one back up to Waite. Her shot no good. Yorio corrals, and Dixon crosses midcourt, fast the other way. Waite on the defense with the mismatch. The 4'11 guard who's led the points for the Tigers so far this season makes up for it on defense, leading the team in steals and rebounds. A deep shot from Drevna. This one off the mark, who struggled to find production tonight, and McGugan double-teamed on her own side as she gets the rebound.
Bombers 2 for 12, making 2 for 13 from deep.
Waite underneath, driving with the mismatch on Coffee, stolen by Drevna. Pickpockets the other side, and will look to reset for the Bombers. Scorekeeper is bored, as it's been not much offense these last few minutes, but Yorio trying to change that, fires from 15 feet at the top of the key. This one no good, and McGugan fast the other way. A pass underneath for Richardson. This one off the mark. That was Pearson, rather, and a foul called against the defender as she takes a trip to the line.
When you foul like Ithaca does in those kind of situations, RIT is going to keep it close no matter what when they can get some points out of possession. And it's been about 2.5 minutes where both sides are scoreless. RIT doesn't have a point in almost 5 minutes as the immediate timeout comes.
And the opposite theme of what we saw in the first half, Eli. Fast-paced offense, not quite in this one, where the Bombers may lead by 9, but in just the first 3 minutes of the first quarter, we saw 21 points combined. This time, in the first 6, we've only seen 12. Definitely a switch up, and is it playing into the Bombers' favor, you could say, for that slow pace?
I mean, RIT definitely dominated in terms of the pace in that first quarter. I feel like they came out of the gate with a style of basketball that Ithaca was not at all expecting, and that's what led to their early runs and early dominance in the paint because they were so quick. Ithaca battled back, and as we saw over the course of the first 90 seconds or so of this game, Ithaca was able to match what they were doing, match how fast they were playing, and then as we've seen, both teams have just slowed it down a little bit. And now, I mean, for both teams, it feels like the shots aren't hitting as well. Ithaca with their struggles from deep, those continue as well as the Bombers are 2 from 13. RIT has missed their last 4 from deep as well. And when you can't get to the paint, when you're missing them from deep, and that brings down confidence, that's obviously going to bring down the pace of the game.
Certainly. And right now, you look at the battle between the two teams. RIT is winning it 7-17 from beyond the arc. Bombers, like you said, just 2 of 13. And even that percentage, not even close. The Bombers finding so many points in the paint so far tonight. Talk about 23 compared to just, talk about 30 compared to just 14 for the other side.
And that's not a number we typically see, as we mentioned earlier, for an Ithaca team that averages almost 6 threes per game.
Pearson will notch both from the line. And Nick Balsetta once again ready to deliver on the offensive side. Near side, left wing for Drevna. Pearson on the defense, swings around the horn for Coffey, but first was Dixon. Now backside for Drevna. Her fire off the front of the rim as Nick Balsetta tries for the rebound, but tips it over for Watkins on her 12th rebound of the game. Stepping inside with the crossover. Dixon with her left hand. That one good. And a bounce back as she finds double figures for the second time in the last 5 games. DePaula working her way around the key as she traces the perimeter and gets the pick from Pearson. She'll hold the ball after a few steps. A handoff back and forth to DePaula once again. Driving baseline around. Wait, gets the pass. Floater underneath. The teardrop no good. Fighting for the rebound was Pearson, but it'll go the other way as the ball goes out of bounds. And Watkins boxes out for the Bombers. What a game she's had. 12, 12, and 2 her stats tonight with just 21 minutes.
And that's another place where Ithaca has the size advantage there. You don't allow anything in the paint, get the rebounds, knock it out. You got 5'11", 6 foot on the floor. Helps.
And now Dixon, center of the paint, will work her way off the glass. This one good on the near side. Back-to-back possessions and back-to-back points for Junie Dixon. Finding her rhythm now as Waite crosses the Bomber logo at midcourt. Crosses over, steps back, and looks for it as she yo-yos from the left wing. Now driving baseline, it's Wilson. Fires outside into turnover. Working on it is Ika Balsetta. On the elbow, kicks outside for Polche, who holds it. And now back outside as Dixon, the hot hand, with it on the right wing. Swings around to the right for Coffey. And back now to Dixon on the left wing, who surveys the court. Over to Ika Balsetta. No steps inside the perimeter so far this possession. 1:40 on the clock. Bombers up by 9 as Dixon with 5 on the clock. Steps back, fires, 3-point. This one good. 7 points, last 3 possessions for Dixon. Finding her rhythm tonight. And the Palo trying to respond on the other side. A crossover, looking for Wade on the left wing with Ika Balsetta on the defense. A handoff for Buckelman. And outside for Pearson. Working around the perimeter is Wade as she'll step to her right side. Going the high block. Double teamed by Ika Balsetta and Polche. A handoff to DePaula. Driving baseline, crossover dribble, a pickpocket from Polche, the defensive specialist, and fast the other way. Coffey, left wing, fires. This one off the mark. Dixon fighting for the rebound, and another jump ball called as it was Pearson and Polche on the battle. Polche with 3 steals on the night. That's tied for the most on the Bombers roster, where Dixon also has that total. And Coffey getting subbed out for Elizabeth Maka.
The biggest thing right now for Ithaca is Junie Dixon getting hot. That's exactly what she needs. She's now got 16 points and has accounted for the last 7 for Ithaca. Exactly what she needs to get the offense going.
The hot hand of Dixon is on the court still for the Bombers as Waite goes underneath. This one trying to hurl it around and keeps it with Bockelman on the left wing. Under 40 seconds to go as she drives in the paint. And Payne with the defense knocks the ball out of bounds, but keep it with the Bombers. 8 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock as Dixon will look for the last Ithaca possession of the third quarter, most likely. A bounce pass to Polche, deep on the left wing. Just by the logo as Waite presses on the defense. Trying to work her way around, not making it easy. Finds the separation, 20 seconds on the clock, 13 on the shot clock. Dixon, left elbow, fires, this one good. And 4 straight makes for Junie Dixon. Getting hot right now in the lead at 16 for the Bombers. Shot clock dark for Waite, who's deep on the right wing with Polche on the defense. She swings around, goes down Main Street, kicks outside for McGugan, who launches one off on the buzzer and is just a bit too strong as the Bombers flip the script for what the start was, a 9-0 run in the last 3 minutes and 10 seconds, 12-2 run in the last 7 minutes. A performance for the Bombers we're expecting to see in the fourth quarter or down the stretch in the playoffs if they want to win the Liberty League Championship. But for now, we'll send it back to the studio for a quick promo. Keep it here on WICB 91.7.
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, sounds good.
20 deep cuts. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Playing sports bed.
Back here on Bomber Radio Network, I'm Devin Jarvis alongside Eli Fishman in the Hill Center on Ithaca College's campus. And the Bombers with a stellar third quarter, outmatching the RIT Tigers 16-7 and finishing the quarter with a 9-0 run. They command a 16-point lead right now and are looking to keep that total as just 10 minutes are left to play. And Junie Dixon to kick things off, ready to go as she'll swing it around between Yorio and Coffey. Back up to Watkins, the big duo on the court. Underneath for Watkins, far post. She fires right side. This one taps the rim twice and will go in the direction of the Bombers as it falls out of bounds. Pearson tries for it on the rebound. And Eli, what a third quarter we saw from the Bombers to close that out.
Dominance in a 9-0 run for Ithaca, but particularly a 9-0 run for Junie Dixon. 18 points right now.
She stepped it up in the third quarter as Polche fires from deep. This one off the back iron, and Pearson finally corrals, getting her first rebound on those last 3 attempts that went the other way. And 60-44 your score as the first possession of the fourth quarter is here for the RIT Tigers. McGugan is called with a stoppage of play as a foul against Annabella Yorio off the ball. And that'll be her fourth of the night. McGugan under the basket, far side. She'll find an open DePaula. Left wing, get that one. No, she doesn't. And Polche swinging around the other side. She'll step inside. Driving fast down Broadway. Up off the glass. This one no good as Yorio fights for it. And resets outside with Junie Dixon, who hasn't missed any shots in her last 4 attempts. Behind the back dribble, yo-yoing at the top of the key. Steps inside. Back up on the elbow. She fires anyway. This one, cash! Junie Dixon can't be stopped. 11 straight points for the Bombers and 11 straight from Junie Dixon. Wait on the right wing. Cross court, stolen by Dixon. Fast break the other way. McGugan on the defense. She goes off the glass, fouled. And her first miss is off a foul. But she cannot be stopped right now. Looking to make it 13 straight at the charity stripe. Junie Dixon on fire.
It's exactly the kind of momentum you need if you're Ithaca. Dixon, who's rotated in with Ithaca ball set in. Polche is the point guard of this team. But right now, her specialty has just been getting out and running, using the speed to her advantage, and helps there, gets the steal, gets the foul. Her 4th steal of the game, that leads the Bombers.
She'll knock down the first to bring her total to 20 points. And what a game from Junie Dixon, who is letting it fly right now. The second one can't fall as the rebound is still on the ground, but McGugan finally corrals. A timeout on the side of Amy Reed. And a stretch of dominance for the Bombers that is notched 11 straight points in a scoreless run for the RIT Tigers.
And Coach Raymond talked before this game about Dixon's struggles, frustration with herself in the last few weeks as her collegiate career comes to an end, and how locked in this entire team was in practice throughout the course of the week, because at one point or another, it hits you. You lose a game, you're out of the tournament. For 4 Bombers, you're 2 seniors, 2 grad students, your career comes to an end. So obviously a chip on the shoulder for all 4 seniors playing for their 4 seniors, and Dixon's had her fair share of struggles. Less than 5 points in 4 of her last 5. She's under 30% in her last 5 games, and has had her own struggles against RIT. But when she isn't getting the point, she's making things happen. In the steal category with 5+ steals 3 times already on the season, getting the assists, getting the boards. That's kind of what we saw in the first half. A lot of struggles for Dixon. She was racking them up in the other categories. Right now, she's just firing, she's spraying, and she's using the speed to her advantage. 63-44 for the Bombers, huge.
21 points on the night, most since January 19th of 2024, where she notched her career high as a collegiate basketball player. Looking to break that total tonight with another 8 minutes and 39 seconds to go on the clock. Only right here on WICB 91.7 Bomber Radio Network. I'm Devin Jarvis alongside Eli Fishman for the first round of the Liberty League playoffs that have so far went the Bombers' way. Looking at a 19-point lead right now and a dominant second and third quarter that they're looking to keep the theme in the fourth. Maya Richardson on the inbound. We'll start here with Erin DePaula. And over for Waite, who's the shooting guard, but kind of has played that one, starting things and setting the table for the RIT Tigers. Swing it around for DePaula. She holds it on the left wing and swings it back around. Underneath for McGugan, and now Richardson outside. Left wing Waite, 8 on the shot clock. Drives inside, a floater. This one, mesh. Finds the back of the net. And an easy shot for her as she adds to her total of 13 to make it 15. Coffey, near side left wing. Swing it around the horn as it'll be far side for Ichabal-Seta. And now for Dixon. Left wing Coffey, just under 8 on the game clock. Ichabal-Seta resets with 10 on the shot clock. Not much time to go. Wait on the defense. Drives down, looking for a shot from the near far side elbow. That one money. And Ichabal-Seta getting her fourth point of the game, finding production more recently tonight. Near side for Bockelman, swinging it around, trying for it once again. Left wing, Coffey on defense, steps inside. This one out for McGugan. A deep fire release, this one no good. And a far side outlet pass from Dixon looking for Coffey. The ball called out of bounds, and a turnover on Junie Dixon. That'll be her third of tonight's game, but you got to be okay with it with the offensive production and defensive production she's brought so far tonight.
Passed it from the scorer's table into the left corner. Coffey couldn't keep her feet in bounds as she had the momentum swirling.
Maya Richardson, talk about turnovers, can't hold on to the ball as it falls to the near side corner.
RIT's turned the ball over now 18 times, and Ithaca's cashed in off those turnovers with 23 points coming off the turnovers. The difference in this game.
Looking at the floor, Yorio right now with 4 fouls. She's checked out of the game, but back to Junie Dixon, who goes from under the basket on the near side. Can't get that one to go. Her first miss in quite a while when it's not a foul. So Wade on the high post, guarded on the mismatch by Watkins, blocked. This one corralled by Richardson. Outside for the Paula, top of the key. This 3-point attempt, good.
Erin DePaula.
Looked like she might have had her foot on the line, so it goes the other way. And now it's Payne on the near side wing. Traces the perimeter, goes out and finds Coffey. She holds the ball over her head. A bounce pass, arid, going toward the near sideline, but Watkins corrals and sets it straight for the Bombers. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Dixon, ball in hand. Bounces, pick underside. Ichabal-Seta kicks it out. Far side for Coffey. This one no good, but another rebound by the Bombers, who have been controlling the offensive boards tonight. A free fire left wing shot for Ichabal-Seta. This one no good. Traveling outside again, and finally the Tigers corral it with a 17-point deficit. Spot up shot on the near side elbow. No good for DePaula, and fast the other way once again for the Bombers. Stepping inside, a shove by Waite. Far side, Dixon. 3-point attempt. The release is pure as she gets it to go and sets her career high in college with 24 points. In her first playoff game for the Bombers, shows up big. And now stepping inside was Oral, who can't get the layup to fall, and the Bombers controlling the game with a 20-point lead.
Big players make big plays in big games. That's exactly what Junie Dixon has done in the second half.
Left wing for Payne as she'll hand it off, and a bounce pass underneath for Dixon. Dixon on the high post near side. Goes outside for Ichabel Seta, top of the key. Underneath, looking for Watkins. This pass just a bit outside, you could say, as she's not able to handle it. And Ichabel Seta calls for the turnover. Polche checked in. Coffee coming out. Talk about the seniors playing in their last game. A big one. Dixon, Polche, among some, including Coffee as well. Could be looking at their last ever Liberty League playoff matchup or basketball matchup of their basketball careers. Here's far side for Richardson. An overhead pass underneath and a handoff for Wade on the far side. This one good as she gets the post shot to go.
Well, you mentioned the Ithaca seniors. Emma Waite, this senior, what a performance she's had today in what could be her final game.
She's looking at 15 right now. She just added to that total. And an off-ball foul as Dixon released from the near side wing. And scratch that, it'll be a timeout.
Media timeout.
Media timeout, and Waite with 17 points, as you mentioned. 3 assists to go to that. Shifty, quick down low, and has put the pressure on Ithaca's defense, where Ithaca's defense, as we mentioned, pretty much, I would say, failed in the first quarter to do their job. RIT was at 56.3% in the first quarter. Since then, RIT has shot under 35%, right now at 38% total in this game. And it's been Ithaca's defense that has come out to play. We mentioned the 18 times that they've forced a turnover, 13 total steals, including 5 for Dixon, 3 for Polche, 2 for Drevna. It's exactly what the doctor ordered if you're Ithaca, because where they had their most trouble against Vassar and Skidmore in their only regular season losses, which came to the top 2 teams in the conference, was the turnovers, being able to force the turnovers, and was being able to capitalize in the paint on every single possession. They're getting the job done in the turnover department, and as we've seen in the paint with 34 points, they've checked that box off as well.
And that's the size mismatch we talked about earlier in this one. Yorio hasn't been out on the court for the past portion of the game due to her foul trouble with 4 right now, but nevertheless, a dominating matchup right now that the Bombers have controlled. You look at the last 12 attempts for RIT, only notched 1 from deep, and they started at the game 5 for 6. So Polche surveys the floor from under the basket and tries to find one. Time running out, finally gets it out for the near side corner with Ichabel Seta. She traces the perimeter and finds herself at the top of the key. As stepping up on defense is DePaula. She'll get a pick from Dixon. Go outside. Shot clock running down. Dixon, a deep shot off the back iron. Ichabel Seta with a rebound and off the glass to get it to go. 70-50 your score. 4:20 left in this one. As a good stretch for the Bombers have controlled the majority of this second half. Underneath for Pearson, as she can't find a shot she likes. Outside for Waite, who steps inside, crosses the elbow, spins around, looking for a teammate. A bounce pass for Pearson, but cookies for Tori Drevna, the freshman who's getting most of any first-year team player on this team. Controls the ball, and now it'll be Ichabel Seta's to hold at the top of the key. Around the horn, finds Polche on the left wing. Back up top for Ichabel Seta, and Polche with her foot on the line, steps inside from 15 feet. A bounce pass underneath, near side, Watkins good. Just dominating on offense right now, can't be stopped. DePaula, a crossover, far side, fire. This one off the mark, and a rebound by Dixon as Oriole couldn't get it to fall. And Dixon steps underneath. Drevna, an open look, doesn't take it. Far side, wing for Polche as she passes into trouble, but Dixon corrals, and a left wing opportunity for Ichabel Seta. Top of the key, underneath now, middle of the paint for Watkins, backing down her defender. This one off the mark. Pearson to get the rebound with under 3 minutes to play in what could be the final matchup of the year for the RIT Tigers. Here we go for Pearson, who finds it off the glass, uses the square, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. DePaula, fire from 3, swirls in like a toilet flush, and a good shot there, which is the second three-pointer in the last 14 attempts for the Bombers. Dixon on the other side will try to make magic happen as she adds to her career total, sitting at 26 right now. And Tigers on the other side. Waite, 3-point attempt, near side wing, double taps the rim, and falls outside as Jenna Johnson gets the rebound to corral it for the Bombers.
And Jenna Johnson getting the rebound there, but the Bombers dominating the rebound category in this one, 45-32. Another category that they've struggled in big games this season. When you rack those up, especially the O boards, 20-9, that's where you're going to have success.
Time called on the floor. It looks like the RIT Tigers will game plan for a full press at this point. Desperate measures for them with 2:27 to go in the fourth quarter. Drevna traveling down, finds space. It'll be a mismatch as she's get fouled from behind by Oral. And with not many fouls in this fourth quarter, no trips to the line. But Libby Maka stepping in with Drevna now on the near side inbound. And she'll go top of the key as Yorio tried for it. That was Middleman who couldn't corral the pass. And it falls out of bounds back to the side of the Tigers. Waite on the inbound on the far side.
Couple subs for Ithaca too with McNamara, Middleman, Maka coming in. You got 3 freshmen on the floor. A whole lot of youth in their first playoff game.
Get those young guns out. Develop them for next year as Waite's on the left wing. And it'll go outside for Oral, who just committed the foul. Down Broadway, off the rim as she tries for the right side hook shot. Can't get it to go. And we'll have an attempt from the free throw line now.
And McPeak checks in for Ithaca, so now you got 4 underclassmen on the floor in addition to the junior and Middleman. And we've talked about it. This is an experienced Ithaca team as Oral can't get the first. 4 straight trips to the NCAA tournament. The seniors had 3 straight Liberty League championships to start their career. A lot of playoff experience, a lot of playoff victories over the last 5 years for the Bombers. A lot is on the line with this Liberty League tournament because you're not going to get an at-large bid at this point. It's all going to come down to winning the conference.
20-5 on the season, 14-4 in conference play. Eli, we saw the way they're performing today. We saw the way they performed last week against Vassar. Is this a team that can beat Skidmore in the second round?
They didn't do it in the regular season. They didn't play to their standards at all in the games against Vassar or Skidmore in the regular season. I mean, the only thing that gives you any confidence is, as we talked about, Vassar's loss to William Smith, which was an anomaly for their season. You also look at Ithaca's first semester win over New Paltz. That's what gives you confidence right now if you can play that basketball.
No wins over teams with winning records so far on the year, as the Bombers have all but secured their first round win tonight against the RIT Tigers. Subs are in, and the Bombers, with the young guns out, are keeping it on the floor. And Grace McNamara has it here on the left wing. Rolling around up for Drevna as she'll reset the table. Now McNamara over for Middleman on the near side with under 1:30 to play. Slow basketball for the Bombers. 10 seconds on the shot clock, and space made. Drevna fires. This one rattles in, dropping the opponent on the other side.
Breaking ankles on her way to the cup. Quick, collected with the 2.
Ansley Ora, a deep fire. Finds the mesh, and a timeout called on the floor. It'll see a stoppage in play, just a substitution, So Isla Dervisevic, surprised I pronounced that one correctly on my first try, steps into the game on the far side baseline.
And she came in late in the final game of the season last Saturday against Bard. Hit a couple big-time threes to give Ithaca an add to their late lead.
Here's Middleman going around for Micah. Far side Middleman. Under a minute to go now as the Bombers controlling the game, up by 20 with McNamara under the basket. Off the glass and good. The bench fired up for the freshman, who hasn't seen much time so far this year. Now Waite, other side, steps elbow, outside for Oral, and back-to-back deep shots for her, closing the gap just by a few. 10 seconds between the shot and game clock as the Bombers hold the possession. Middleman fakes the shot, steps inside, spins Broadway, and McNamara trying for the shot up, Gets fouled on the way there. Looks like it'll be on the Bombers, excuse me. And Eli, we talked about that matchup with Skidmore. A dominating performance today, but again, RIT is not one of those opponents where you expect to struggle against, which they did in the first quarter. So Bombers finally hold on for the final possession of the game. 78-59 your score in Ben Light Gymnasium as RIT playoff hopes are shut out. The Bombers with an amazing game led by Junie Dixon, 10 for 21 from the field, 50% from deep, 26 on the night to set her career high at Ithaca College. A great game from them. And Eli looking to Friday. Ithaca traveling to Skidmore, taking on the Thoroughbreds. How are you feeling?
Ithaca had the lead early in the first quarter, and for 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, the last time they played Skidmore, right